Venture into the dangerous dungeons of myth as a mighty hero and stand against the darkness. Visit the Myth Hub on beastsofwar.com and begin your story. From Viking halls to the cities of the future, terrain buffs will love our foreground hub. Watch gaming tables of all genres come to life at beastsofwar.com.
Good morning and welcome to The Weekender. It's great to have you with us. It's Saturday. We have, I was going to say we've recovered from Salute.
Well, my voice is still a little buggy.
All I'm going to say is it's good to be back from Salute. Salute's fun, but man, it's knackering that 5-day trip that we do.
Yeah, it's, I don't think I have recovered. I think I'm still...
I still hear it in your voice.
Fairly run down from the whole thing. It's hard. It is hard work, but it was absolutely fabulous. We're going to be talking about Salute just in a little while. But to kick off the show, it's business as usual. We've come back. We've got stuck straight in to the Bolt Action Boot Camp. The terrain building is underway for the Bolt Action Boot Camp. The Bolt Action Boot Camp takes place, I think, it's the 23rd of this month. So
soon.
Yes, very soon.
I can see a lot of excited people out there just going, can't wait.
And we're going to talk a bit more about the actual terrain making and stuff in the backstage show. So if you tune in tomorrow, you'll see more about that.
If you tune into the XLBS, that's the extra long backstage version of this show, which goes out on beastsofwar.com on a Sunday morning. We're going to be talking at some length about the terrain and stuff that we're making for the boot camp and how we're getting it all put together. I can, however, now announce what the next boot camp is going to be. It's going to take place on the 26th, 27th, and 28th of June. It's Infinity, baby.
Ooh.
This is a big one. We've been pushing to try and see when we could do an Infinity one. We got our opportunity. That weekend, we are going to be doing the Infinity Boot Camp.
Can I make 1 point to every front stager out there?
Yes.
First bite goes to the backstager, so if you're wanting in on that, hurry your ass up.
Yes. If you want to have your best opportunity to be able to come to that boot camp, do come across and join backstage, because the passes for the boot camp go on sale to backstagers first. And then whatever's left, then we would put out front stage. We have never had any left so far. So it's worth coming across and joining backstage. Basically, what the boot camp is a fabulous weekend where you can get into a game or get even further into a game that you've always wanted to. So in this case, it's Infinity. We have Carlos, and we're hoping to have Killian. So Carlos from Corvus Belli with us. He will have been over doing something secret with Beasts of War in the run-up to that.
Which is the great thing about the boot camps. Like the one past, we had guys from Hawk Wargaming.
Yeah.
Hawk Wargames. We're having guys over from Bolt Action or from Warlords for that.
Warlords coming over for the Bolt Action.
Is Rick going to turn up?
We hope so.
I want to compare my beard.
Not only do you get cool starter sets and things when you're there, you get the people from the actual company to guide you through playing, and I love that.
And use your imagination a little bit, okay? If he's here with us otherwise, that means there's probably something new that we could try and probe him about. So
he's here for a few days, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
So,
and the other thing is, in the evenings, we get out for a couple of bevies.
Absolutely. We meet up on the Friday. We build our armies on the Friday night. We then go out for a few bevies, and then on the Saturday we're gaming and getting into it and learning all about it, and we're getting loads of games in. And then on the Saturday, there's a bit more hobby time, but we're saying nothing about that. And then we go for a really slap-up meal, and then on the Sunday we finish out the day with some more gaming. And then on the Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon, we're just open for open gaming.
Yeah, we wind down and break out all the different games that we all have.
So, or you can continue playing Infinity. We're going to be setting up some beautiful, beautiful gaming tables. So the gaming tables should all be fantastic. We're thinking of introducing a bit of variety into the Infinity gaming tables and putting out some of the other gaming tables that we've built for Infinity over the years. All for the ticket price, which will be around the £150 mark for the basic ticket. You're going to get your starter army. You're going to get all your food. You're going to get all your accommodation, and other bits. It will be great. It will be absolutely great. Now, the starter armies that you'll be able to choose from are as follows.
Whoop. First up, we have the Ariadne.
So you'll be able to pick the Ariadne starter pack. What else have we got?
I believe this is...
Well, wait, go back before that. So the Ariadne starter pack consists of some Line Kazakhs, 3rd Highlander Grey rifles, the veteran Kazakhs, the Chasseurs, and another Line Kazakh. It's a cracking looking force. Next up,
we get a little pano, I believe. Yep,
we have the Shock Army of Acontecimento. Yeah, where we have the Montesa Knights, the Mari units, the Acontecimento regulars, the Achilles Sheikh commandos, and a couple more regulars.
You would think with time this would get easier, Warren.
It's a little bit of a tongue twister. I know Infinity unboxings where I've completely screwed up names.
Next up, we have the Yujing starter pack. Yes. We have Zanishi, we have Shang Junior Invincibles, we have the Celestial Guard, and we have the Damaro Butai.
And it's Zanshi.
What is it?
Zanshi.
Zanshi. What do I call it? Zanishi. Sanusi.
And then finally, we get the Japanese sectorial starter army. My favourite of all of them.
That is class, isn't it?
Yeah, because you get ninjas, the Oniwaban.
Yeah, you have the Damaro Butai, the Kisoto Butai.
Kitsatsu.
What I like to call them Obi-Wan, but Oniwaban. Kempetai.
And more Kitsatsu.
Yeah, more Kitsatsu. So that will be our choices, and Corvus Belli may well have a wee surprise in store for all of you guys that come on board as well.
Right, I'll maybe ring Carlos's arm and see if I can find out before.
Yeah, there may be a surprise for you. Okay, so we'll be putting up the order forms for that next week. So do come across, join Backstage. It is a fabulous event.
It's just a gamer's holiday.
We will be live blogging the entire event as well. So if you're very far away or you can't make it, you will have some entertainment that weekend.
And I think when we move on to our next segment, we'll have proved yet again that the live blogging system is a really good way of keeping an eye on an event.
Absolutely. I have one other quick thing I just want to quickly announce. For the longest time now, about nearly every week, I get emails from somebody saying, I want to work in the tabletop gaming industry. Have you any advice and stuff like that? About a year ago, we did a series of little mini projects within Beasts of War of just some other things that we could do that we might be able to fire up. One of them. We've dusted off, brought back down again, and actually put live in a beta format. And we're going to be working away at it on and off over the next few months. It's called tabletopjobfinder.com. Basically, in these last few weeks, we are really starting to see a surge in the number of startups and the number of one-man bands who are able to go out and are trying to create either their own miniatures or their own games and all sorts of things.
Kickstarter, for example, is driving a wealth of jobs and stuff because little teams go out and they do successful Kickstarters and then they suddenly go, we need more people. This was amazing, this Kickstarter.
Yeah. So one of the things, after some long discussions between myself and Lloyd, we decided to bring Tabletop Job Finder off the shelf. We have now put it live. It is in beta, and basically what it is somewhere where you, as a company, can post your jobs. Currently, you can post jobs for free, and if you are a skilled person, skilled in any area that might be related to tabletop gaming or the business of tabletop gaming, including legal, marketing, finance, PR, whatever, you can go in and add your resume and then come back, visit regularly, see what jobs are there. The jobs are bracketed into full-time jobs, part-time jobs, and freelance jobs. So if you, for example, we're hoping that maybe some painting companies will go in there, and if you wanted to create a painting job, You may have an army or something you want to get painted. You could go in and painting, even painting companies as well as individuals who do pro painting could apply for your job. Yeah. If you're trying to create a startup business and you're trying to find sculptors or artists, you can go in and you can create a job that's tuned for traditional sculpting or CAD sculpting. Yeah. It's all in there.
Very cool.
So it's not incredibly sophisticated, but we wanted to get something there just to gauge the reaction and see if it's something that can help fill a gap that we see at the moment to try and help people connect to one another to do this kind of finding skills and advertising places and jobs that's out there. So it's up, it's live, it's in beta. Feel free to hop on over and take a look. We'll probably be talking about it on and off at length and showing off the jobs on beastsofwar.com, maybe even talking about some of the jobs that have come up in the weekend. But that's Tabletop Job Finder .com.
Easy.
I think it's time to take a little break. We're going to tell you about a couple of hubs. When we get back, we're going to be talking about Salute.
Criminal gangs control the streets and lunatics make twisted schemes as night falls on Gotham. Join the Batman at the Batman Miniatures Hub on beastsofwar.com. Anime cyberpunk style meets skirmish combat in Infinity. Experience 8 high-tech factions and fight to control the human sphere at the Infinity Hub on beastsofwar.com.
Welcome back, guys. We have Dawn on the show. So Dawn, our US correspondent, has very kindly came in for Salute and hopped across to Ireland to spend some time with us after the show. Dawn, you're very welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been great. It's been so much fun. Okay,
so Salute 2015 is over. Yep. Okay, I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about it, but before we do that, I have some thank yous to make. Okay. My first thank you is to a guy called Mark. You know who you are. When we went over there, Mark actually made a sizable donation of beer money for the Beasts of War crew. Mark, we decimated it, mate.
I remember what you were like on the morning.
Yes.
Because everybody kept going up to me later in the day going, "Sword, all right?" Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
On the Saturday in Salute, I was okay other than the waves of nausea that kept flowing across me from time to time. Mark, look, thank you so much for that. It was entirely unexpected. It was entirely uncalled for, but it was enjoyed immensely. Our other thank yous. Didn't the live blogging crew do an amazing job?
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was.
Here, some of them.
Here we are in the media hub working away, and we have Richard, we have Danny, and Ben and Dave were out on the floor. We also had Ian, who's just tucked in there in the back. And then obviously we have our own Ben, our own Gianna, Lloyd.
And Warren working on the phone.
Yes.
I was working on the phone. All the
was.
laptops were taken up, so the only way I could keep an eye on the live blog was to go in and access it via the phone. But it was an immense amount of work for that crew, and they did an absolutely fabulous job.
Well, so the people that were viewing the live blog seemed to really, really enjoy it through the day.
On the Saturday, we put out 101 individual updates.
It's awesome.
Which is
awesome.
Which you consider, it's just a one-day show, so we have between 9 and 7 to be able to get all of that out. And these updates, they're either videos or little multi-image galleries. There's an awful lot of content. And by the time we reached today to pick the winners, we had over 3,000 comments.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah, over 3,000 comments throughout the live blog, which is absolutely astounding. So it was brilliant. The only guy, and I dropped an image on here, the only guy that didn't work hard was this man here.
I will call you a liar right now.
I got an email from a viewer. It might have been a blogger, with this little image saying, you know, we know most of you worked hard today, and there he is looking longfully out the window.
No, you see, you know exactly what that is.
Yes, I do know exactly what that is.
What is it?
That's you looking for some kind of love interest out among the crowd.
No.
That you could come down the stairs and
Warren, no, what it is. That's my widow's watch. I didn't get to see James.
You didn't get to see James M. Hewitt?
No, I was looking all around for him at one point. I couldn't find him up or down.
I got a hug. I got a chance to get a man hug from James M. Hewitt. So I'll be talking a bit more about James M. Hewitt in the backstage tomorrow. We're going to be talking about some 40K, and yeah, it's all that Adeptus Mechanicus stuff. I knew my man James had to be involved in that.
Well, is he dropping the hammer on the anvil to make something nice for us?
Well, no. Remember, this stuff's all long done. So, but anyway, we'll be talking about that in backstage.
Okay.
Right. Highlights.
Highlights.
How do you pick highlights from a show that had hundreds
I don't even know how to start.
of things going on? Pick something.
All right. I've been grabbing images from everything in the live blog, trying to figure out what I want it to like. So I have a ton of images on here, so it may take me a second to find stuff.
Okay.
The first thing that jumped out at me, my favorite thing in the world, Mordenberg.
Yes.
They've added a new tower to it.
That tower's unbelievable.
Oh, it's gorgeous. That, and you've got the stoic arms in the background. I still have one of those in the studio here to build. I'm just waiting for the chance to get it home. They went insane with the amount of stuff they brought out, because they've done Mordenberg and it's looking absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
They've got another table where they've done the Adobe buildings. They're now doing trees, and they've brought out new Drop Zone Commander stuff as well.
Yeah.
They are on fire, and I can't wait to see what they do.
I want to talk about this tower for a little bit, okay? Yeah. This tower has multiple levels. Again, like a lot of the stuff that we're used to from Foreground. And the very bottom floor is a jail.
Yes.
So with all the bars and stuff like that there. Then up a floor, you start to get into all the rooms, and it continues like that on up. One of the amazing things about it is out the... Hey, whoa, don't move. Right there. Whoa,
moving back.
Right there.
Yeah.
Is a little toilet that actually comes out the side of the building, and it's one floor up. And what they've done is, beneath the toilet, they've put 2 clamps for a guy to be clamped underneath the toilet with a hole.
Oh, that's the worst kind of torture ever. I want one of these just to do that up.
Yeah, so their attention to detail is absolutely superb. It's got to be the best laser cut terrain system, but it's not only a system. I mean, this Mordenberg stuff specifically.
It just has so much to it. Yeah. I mean, it couldn't have any more.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know. Knowing those guys, they're probably sitting in their little HQ working away on more amazing stuff.
Well, it's the popularity of this stuff is the reason why we don't have sci-fi stuff from Foreground yet. They have no time on their lasers to cut the sci-fi stuff that they're doing, because this stuff is just so popular.
Well, I tell you what, whenever I'm building the buildings of this, it actually puts me into my Zen place. I find it incredibly cathartic to just sit down with one of these kits and work away.
And what I love about it is when you're done...
It's done.
You're done.
Absolutely.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, and they do look beautiful. There are upgrade kits. We'll be showing them off in what's in the box very soon. Yeah. There are upgrade kits where you can put extra kind of wooden paneling into the gaps.
Yeah, you've got the roofing tiles.
Roof tiles that you can add to it as well, which...
it's that extra level.
Oh, it takes it really to the next step. And again, you know, it is just a fabulous, fabulous range. Yeah. They were also showing off the kind of the Middle Eastern buildings.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
If we can hopefully get a picture of them up. They are unbelievable. From a technical standpoint, you would never know that was HDF.
No.
And then we actually saw they're doing standalone wall sections to wall them off now as well.
Yeah, they're doing these kind of like...
it's compound walls.
Compound. The very, very word I'm looking for. So if you are into your moderns, which I'm seriously getting into at the moment, I want to get a bunch of this stuff up and set it up in the desert and do kind of Delta Force type stuff into this. I think it'll be, it is brilliant. The other thing that they have, which they were talking to me about at Salute, is Foreground have their own paint range of specially formulated paints specifically to work with this stuff.
And to work in the airbrushes.
Yeah. Well, no, they are refining it. They're going to come out with a new one for the paint, but for adding dry brushing effects and things like that.
Did they point? I think they pointed this out to you in the bottom right of this picture. See the orange building? Was that painted with their stuff? I remember them saying something to you at the end of the interview. Possibly, yeah. Right. But they do. It's worth going and checking out, guys. It's because it's a paint that's formulated to match the kind of paints and texture and stuff that they have on the buildings. It's very, very good. Yeah. And then finally, here we are talking about these guys, but it's so much on show. Finally, one of the highlights for me was the foreground trees. I don't know if you've got any pictures.
Gorgeous.
I don't have any of them on there, but they had them on with the Middle Eastern buildings, and they just sit so well into that setting.
So it's a brand new line of trees from the guys at Foreground. They're fabulous. I've always had my kind of favorite trees, and I've had my favorite trees now for the last 6 years. They've been my favorite trees. I think they've been toppled.
New favorites.
I think I have new favorite trees. Shiny. So much so, I'm going to try and see if we can get these trees from Foreground for the Bolt Action Boot Camp.
That would be awesome.
So I've had a last minute change of heart and change of mind of the trees that I want to put down on the tables in the boot camp. Okay. So I'm going to do whatever we can to try and see if we can furnish the boot camp with the foreground trees, because they are absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, they're perfect for a gaming table. They have the deciduous trees out at the moment. Yep. I'm sure I saw some beautiful kind of like willowy kind of trees. Oh, those were awesome.
Those were lovely.
What they have coming up is they have the conifers. The evergreens. So the evergreen range is on its way. And then on top of that, they have this kind of Mediterranean style trees coming out as well. These guys, they are really, really hammering.
Lunatic mastermind geniuses.
Yeah. Anything else that caught your eye while you were there?
Of course, there's one thing that I couldn't help but stop off and see. If I can find it, excuse me. Yes, here we go. Halo was there for Spartan.
The ship game.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
So that's the humans.
Oh, no, Dawn, you did an interview with these guys.
We did, yeah, we did. And they were super excited. And, you know, everybody was over there hovering while they were talking about them. The ships are beautiful. I mean, if you know nothing about the Halo universe, just for the ships alone, you would want to get in on this.
Look at that.
It is brilliant.
It's gorgeous. And then we have another couple images here of the same faction, I believe.
This is the Covenant.
Yes, this is the Covenant. They're gorgeous. And the one thing I really liked, they were taking pre-orders there. And with the pre-orders, you could get yourself either a human bust or one of the alien busts. Yeah. So you were able to actually get a little extra thing. So if you were a painter and you wanted something just as a nice little project, you could hook one of these too. You're
so into this tiny, shiny syndrome. Go back to the ships.
There were some people though that were going, you know, I wouldn't even necessarily play the game, but I really want those. Yeah. I mean, we heard that conversation going on too. So.
Yeah. Well, there's my favorite ship.
And this is all plastic, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Gorgeous.
It's unreal, isn't it? So. Yeah, that's a definite one up there. We're going to definitely be keeping an eye on this because I think this Halo game is gonna have quite the impact. We'll have to wait and see. Dawn, what about yourself? What was a highlight for you?
So hard to pick for the show just being as big and as crazy as it was. I got a chance to talk to Paranoid Miniatures about their upcoming game Mythos. Yeah. And they're, you know, about a year out from this. Tentacles. They had the Sea Queen there. Yeah. And they gave me one of these to look at.
Oh my God. It's gorgeous.
I know, isn't it? Oh. The story, the madness. So
this is a Cthulhu
based yes, Lovecraftian, you know, at its best.
Holy moly, yeah.
Gorgeous. So everyone within this weird world, this weird dark world, will have a degree of madness and only proceed to get more mad as the game goes on.
Yeah.
And none of the players or characters will react the same to the madness. Some, it'll be a very marginal effect. You know, you may just be the one that sulks off to the corner and sucks your thumb and rubs your blanket. Or you could be somebody that just goes absolutely crazy, takes evil to another level, you know, and it will just continue to change as the game goes on. So super, super cool. And what I am a sucker for art books. And so they had this beautiful book on the table full of, you know, artwork from the beginning of the process to more of the final process of their vision for all of this. Each one prettier than the one before. So I think we're actually doing a news article on it, and they have the gallery post, which I was hoping they would do it, because if you weren't lucky enough to be there and pan through the book yourself, you wouldn't have been able to see all those goodies. Yeah. So now you can actually look up the gallery for that.
Nice.
For sure. And then, you know, the Hoth game.
Oh,
I couldn't, as evidenced by the T-shirt. I mean, back home, we're all Star Wars crazy anyway, and that was just fantastic. I mean, 3 deep to the table all day long, watching it, you know.
Yeah, basically it looked like this.
So we had just not to get up on the table at one point. The game was very successful. I've got to say a big congratulations to Grant Ennis again.
Oh, he did
not
so
only
good.
for the development of the game, but for the effort that him and his 2 crewmates put in on the day to take as many people as possible through the game. It was astounding. I was gobsmacked by how popular and how well the assault on Hoth went. Well, we also ended up in a bunch of other blog
we made it onto the Escapist with it.
We were on Boing Boing, we were on the Escapist, we were on Make Zine. A big massive thank you to Gareth for writing the article and putting us onto Make.Zine. It was very overwhelming, and it was great to see after Salute all the other coverage from bloggers out there, and it was lovely to see them all, including the Hoth board, in their coverage. You know, it was we have set the thing quite high for next year now. So it's
if you're playing Let's Top This, I don't know.
That's what Warren plays every year.
You've got your work cut out for you.
I want to say a big thank you to, is it
Cozy Dice?
Cozy Dice.
Yes.
Cozy Dice did dice bags for myself and Justin, and they did me a Scooby-Doo dice bag for Savannah around Christmas time, which was absolutely lovely, and Savannah just cherishes it. But they got in contact just before the Salute kicked off and said, we've done you some dice bags. I think they even sent us a little video of them being actually made.
Stitched out,
so they did us some Imperial dice bags for the assault on Hoth. And it was a massive thank you. Go and check out Cozy Dice. Their stuff is great. I love the material of their dice bags. It's just nice, solid stuff.
Yeah.
Now, my favourite moment of the Hoth board day,
Lord Vader turned up.
It was awesome.
Yeah, you even got a little interview with him, didn't you?
I did. And you know what? And I have to say, I was so excited when I saw them walking down to the table. You know, so we had to hustle down there with the camera and make sure we got a chance to talk to him. And when we walked up, before I even got to chat with them, they were talking, and it turns out they were plotting, you know, their little spiel for us when we walked up to the table. It was beautiful, and I did not expect Vader to talk. I knew I heard the noise, and everybody expects you to hear that. You know. So I knew I was going to get that. So when I passed the microphone over, I fully expected him to gesture at the commander with him there to go into the when he talked. I hope the look of shock wasn't too evident on my face, because I really wasn't expecting it. It was fantastic. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it was a real crisis moment, and I've got to say, I had to have my own fanboy moment.
You did.
Yeah, and here's what happened because of it.
I went over and I got choked by Vader, Lord Vader, and look at that. I'm trying my best to look terrified,
the happiest,
and I'm the happiest dying guy in the world. Look at that smile. That's embarrassing how happy I look there. I am fanboying so much.
Trust me, everybody else around you was probably thinking the exact same thing. Can I get him to choke me?
So yeah, that was one of my highlights for Salute. I want to do another big shout out because one of the highlights for me was just up from the Battle of Hoth. There was a beautiful gaming table of Fort George. Okay. Now, I don't know if it was connected to a club or anything, but what I do know is it was built by a chap called Ron. And the entire thing, including the boats, were hand-built.
And they're gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
It was like,
beautiful.
Wow. This table got best of show, deservedly so, at Salute. It was absolutely gorgeous. You know, the details and the fact that everything had been custom built throughout it. It was a thoroughly deserved best of show. It was also particularly poignant because I believe it was due to be at Salute last year. Unfortunately, Ron's youngest son Jason passed away. So this year it was in memory of, in honor of Jason. So Ron, look, congratulations! You did a fantastic job. It was an absolutely beautiful table, and it'll remain in my memory for a very long time. So we managed to get Salute over us. And we got everything packed up. As usual, we were the very last to leave.
I think we left at 8 p.m.
Yeah. We get fortunate now. The guys at Salute allow us to stay that little bit longer to get everything wrapped up and get the last posts and stuff out. But we got out about 8 p.m. and then we went and had a very quiet drink before just basically passing out for the night. The next morning, myself, Justin, and Lloyd got up, got ready to go back for the boat.
Yep. Was it a 6-hour journey up from London to Birkenhead?
Yeah, and we made it in record time to the point we decided to go on a Jolly Boys outing. And we all went to Blackpool. Cue Chaz and Dave music. So, Justin, all right.
I'm sorry,
Am I having to hold that down and over my head? What?
So we were on the motorway, and I said to Lloyd, you know, I think we could get to Blackpool. You know, I
was half asleep in the back going, Blackpool? Okay.
Myself and Lloyd had been to Blackpool as children. And we hadn't been back since. It had been 25 years since I had been to Blackpool. He had never been to Blackpool.
I was 4 when they went.
In fact, Justin has never been to a theme park.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is unreal.
I've actually never left the British Isles. The furthest south I've been is Southend Pier.
Oh my goodness.
He has never been to a theme park, so this was his first ever
proper theme park.
Yeah.
Because we have Barry's on the north coast, but that's just a little amusement.
Yeah, it's just as an amusement centre. It's not
completely
a theme
crap
park.
compared to this.
So we got to we left London, which had the London Marathon.
Yep.
We got to Blackpool and just missed the Blackpool Marathon.
Oh, for goodness sake.
And then we went into the Pleasure Beach.
Yes.
So in the Pleasure Beach, we kicked off with an amazing ride. I've got a bunch of photos. It's like holiday snaps. Don't you dare turn this screen off. I'm going to subject you to our holiday snaps.
And I have digital versions.
Yeah, so the first thing we did was we went in and we went on this ride called Valhalla. Now, talk about a ride for war gamers.
Right?
That was it.
Yes.
Now, it said on the sign, beware, you will get wet. Now, I thought, yeah,
little splash.
It'll be a little splash or something like that.
Yeah, but you and Lloyd put me in the front of the boat.
We kind of engineered it and put Justin up in the front. We said, okay, we're getting in behind you. We then proceeded to the way to the back of the boat. And just as we were setting off, Justin turned around to talk to us and went, wait, what?
So, why are you so far back? And they're just sitting there going, you'll see.
Oh, how we laughed. And it went through, and it was going through, and it was this waterfall coming down. I mean, chucking it down. And we were going to go through the waterfall, and me and Lloyd looked at each other and went, oh, no. And it turned off.
Yes.
And that was okay. We thought, we were right. This isn't going to soak us. We just get the odd splash.
Yeah.
So we went up this big hill.
Yeah, then sitting in the back going, it's going to be a big drop.
We're going to be a big drop. We got to the top, and we were overlooking the pleasure beach. And we're going, we're not going around a corner. What's going on? The boat turned around and reversed down the hill, and it came whoosh in over the top of us. That was just the first of an immense amount of soaking. I got out. Dawn, I may as well have jumped in a bath. I was absolutely soaked through. Do you have a, this is us.
I have the digital version.
And that was your first ride of it. Oh, that's priceless.
Look at Lloyd.
I know, look at it. Could he be any more excited?
I'm just sitting there with the hood up going, nope, it's wet, I'm cold, I don't like it, no.
That's awesome.
Myself and Lloyd were squealing like little girls.
I was laughing like a lunatic.
It was great.
I looked back at one point and saw they had got a bit wet, but when we got off the actual ride and I saw just how soaked they had got. Now, I was wet, but I was sort of one bag from the front, so I wasn't awful. I get out the boat, I turn around, and I just see the water pouring off them.
I had to take off my shirt and wring it out.
Giggling like a lunatic for about 5 minutes afterwards.
But they had flames and everything spitting out. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. After that, they then proceeded to go on to the scary rides, and they took us on to the avalanche. And the avalanche is it kind of, you go up, and you know where a roller coaster is normally held on to the top and the bottom.
Top and bottom.
No, this comes off the tracks and actually freestyles down. These curves.
A big ass luge.
Now, everybody knows I'm a big scaredy cat. Okay? So they got me on this thing. I think there's a picture of you two guys on it.
Just let me find it here. There's myself and Lloyd.
Now, they're a very close relationship, Lloyd and Justin. You know,
I kind of look like I'm enjoying that position a little bit too much.
You're like...
I just stand there going, yeah.
You've got this weird ZZ Top Rob Halford thing going on. But anyway, I was utterly terrified. I think that they even caught a picture of me in full-on fear mode.
White knuckling it.
Look at the grip I have. I couldn't even hold on in front of me. I had to hold on to the sides. Ah! I have never screamed quite like it in my life.
I couldn't hear you because Lloyd was howling in front of me.
It was horrendous. That's okay. At that point, they then decided that they wanted to take me on this whole bunch of other roller coasters. And I said, especially one called the Pepsi Max Big One.
Yeah! I loved it.
Which was like a skyscraper. It was so high.
It must have been about 20 stories high.
I didn't go on any of them. I said to them, if you'd taken me to that first, I probably would have went on it, but this scared me so much.
You were done. That was it.
That was it. I was out. So they did all these roller coasters, and I waved, and then I went on the ghost train. There was no pictures on the ghost train, and here I was sitting in the little car all by myself, among all the toddlers all going on the ghost train. So I went on it twice.
The Pepsi Max, I laughed my head off at Lloyd because it fires you down this big, steep ramp at the start, and then you're kicking around all the loops, twisting you directly onto your side to look out. And from beside me, all I hear is, no, this is horrible. I don't like this. I want off this. And I'm just sitting there going, this is amazing. Look how high we are. It was great.
It all accumulated with the two guys going on to a thing called the Ice Blast. Okay, and have a look at the fear on Lloyd's face on this.
Oh my gosh!
I'm just sitting there going, yeah.
They were not expecting that. I think I even have a little bit of video footage of this, but we'll try and put it on at the end of the show so as you can see it. But I'll have to bleep it because watching them on this terrified me. I had that moment where man parts raise up into my body, and I was like, whoa. So after
I love Lloyd's face.
I know, right?
After all of that, it was time to go, but we had time for one more ride. That we went on to. There was a bit more at my pace.
Yeah, go ahead.
And of course, it had to be the Wallace and Gromit. So we went on the Wallace and Gromit, and this is the picture we got. You look like my children.
I know. You look entirely too proud of yourself in the front there.
What is you standing going, yay! Wallace and Gromit, my childhood!
Best day ever. Proudly in the front of it.
It has that real, I'm on a ride.
Myself and Lloyd are just sitting in the back. Lloyd's going, why are we on this? I'm sitting there going, I don't know, just might put a bloody camera camera.
Yeah, you look kind of creepy. So that was the Beasts of War boys' big day out in Blackpool.
I want to do it again next year, and I am dragging you onto the Pepsi Max. Although they have one we didn't get onto. It's sort of a really twisty one. Your legs dangle, and it flips you.
I love those kind. I love those kind. See, now you just remember what he said. You have to start with the big one next year.
Yes, we'll start with the Pepsi Max.
No,
and then everything else will seem like child's play.
Yeah, we'll see.
It will. Tell him that it will.
The really old one, the Big Dipper that they have there. I think that one scared you a little bit too.
It's
a really old wooden one that they have there. It's been there since like the 1900s.
Do you know what the great thing about that particular Big Dipper is? I can't look at it or go on it without thinking about the opening scenes to Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon.
Yes.
Anyway, we're going to take a very quick break. Dawn, you'll be back on the show later on. You,
For sure.
Gianna and Justin are going to be having a look at the new game from Megacon Games called Emergence Event.
Great game.
I'm going to quickly bring Sam on, and we're going to be talking a little bit about Home Raiders. But before that, we're going to take a very quick break. Here's some info about a couple of hubs.
In a world controlled by massive corporations, a steady aim and split-second decisions are needed for your Megacon to complete its goals. Begin your missions at the Mercs Hub on beastsofwar.com. Progress comes to a world of magic as science and the arcane combine to make marvels. Meet steampunk inventors and orc mystics at the Volsung Hub on beastsofwar.com.
Hey guys, and welcome back, and welcome Sam to the show.
Hey guys.
So Sam, Home Raiders.
Yes.
The run into the Kickstarter has started.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see this thing go up on Kickstarter. But in the meantime, we've got the Facebook page.
Yes, yeah. So Vesper-On are running a competition on the Facebook page. What can people win?
Well, if you go over and like the Home Raiders Facebook page, you have the chance to be turned into a Home Raider yourself, into one of the little gribbly miniatures.
Oh.
They're not miniatures.
Oh yeah, they're scale.
They're one-to-one scale. So the scale they are on the tabletop is what they are in real life.
Right. One quick question.
No, you don't know. Do you know anything about Home Raiders?
Pretty much nothing. I knew the one-to-one scale thing, but that's about it. Why in the hell are they invading our homes?
Right, okay.
Various reasons.
They have their own reasons for doing it. Basically, Home Raiders can pop in and out of our reality through portals. Okay. And they all have their own motives for what they want from your homes.
Okay.
The little gremlins, for instance, love your technology. So they're the ones that are going into your TV set and pulling out a microchip here and a transistor there.
That stuff.
Okay, so they're why I keep losing DVDs at my place.
They are probably setting them up as disco mirrors or something in their little places and doing the gremlin boogie.
They're more sneaking into your DVD player and wrecking that, stealing that stuff for themselves.
So that's why my PS3 died.
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly why your PS3 died, because the little gremlins are in there.
Right.
The other thing you probably have an infestation of are the ones that cause dust and dirt. And
no, my place got cleaned recently. No, we got back from Salute. I know we're dragging us back to a previous topic. Got back from Salute, went into my house.
Yeah.
My mum had been in, dropping off a tablet for me and picking up a forminator to fill in. Discovered one thing. She had cleaned.
Oh.
And now I can't find anything. I have organised chaos in my house, but no, everything's bright, shiny, tidy. Where is it?
Now, Justin, she did more than clean to get your place in an
organised. All right, fine. She brought in a biohazard team. Shut up.
Yeah. Cleanse.
Cleanse.
Yes.
What? Exorcism?
Holy water and everything.
But the whole premise of Home Raiders is that they've created a game that's geared towards, is just geared towards us for easy pick up and play.
Yeah.
They call it a beer and pretzels game, where the beer and pretzels is the terrain.
Okay.
So the idea is we could be sitting for a drink or something some night, or you can play with your kids, because the rule mechanics are simple yet elegant. They're very, very good. And as we're doing what we do, even if we move the terrain around, that's fine. The little Home Raiders are trying to get in and around it all.
Zion, if you're playing and having a cup of coffee, if you left the coffee and you have a mini behind it that wasn't terrain, and while you're drinking, your opponent shoots it, they don't have terrain?
Correct.
Okay. This is created by David, yeah?
Yes.
David, that is a sneaky rule. Well played, good sir.
Yeah, it's a lovely, you know, because the whole thing is these are real critters. Okay, they are the scale that they are. That's them. You know, so later on, I'm hoping that we might find them riding around on mice. And the mice
that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Mice cavalry.
You know, it's you know, and we're just. There's so much potential for this game.
Would mice be your light cavalry and rats be your heavy cavalry?
Well, a rat is a fair size of a thing.
Or would you
that would be bigger than one of these guys.
That would be like apocalypse scale home raiders, wouldn't it?
But would you have frog cavalry?
Yes, frog cavalry. You could also have a home raider with a beetle on a leash, which
that would be kind of cool.
It's all this kind of stuff, and this is why I am really excited about this Kickstarter, because I know the creativity the guys at the Vesper-On have, and I'm hoping that the Kickstarter will unlock a ton of that creativity, because I can see the potential of this game for among families, especially among families. You know, this is a world that I could envelop Savannah and Manny, my children, in, and little Max when he gets older. You know, telling them stories of it, putting little portals in the room, getting together with my kids and making portals out of scrap bits of electronics and things like that. Little portal doors and things. It's a real opportunity to engage with the youngsters, but at the same time, I'm also absolutely convinced that I can have some crack with you guys.
Oh, definitely.
You know, on a Friday night or a Saturday night, or if we're on the boat, you know, we can get our little cruise
We're on the boat.
out.
We've got all our snacks laid out in front of us, and then we lay out the minis.
We get our cruise out, and you know, and the game will quite happily play multiplayer.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know the activation is drawing counters from a bag.
That's good.
So you know, multiple people can
it's all
play.
very simple.
It's so well thought out. It's so well thought
Very cool.
out.
Well, you see, from what I'm seeing of this, you've got that easy epic backdrop, because the backdrop is our world. So you're not having to build a custom-made gaming table for this.
No. If you
already have it, you live in it.
This is as accessible as you're likely to get. The miniatures are metal, which is a good thing at this stage.
Now, if you actually go to the Facebook page, you can see some pictures of the initial two factions, which we did have on here last time, but more we've got. Here's one of the gremlins coming up.
Yeah.
But more than that, I think we've got some good pictures of the new Lilliput guys, which I don't think we got a really good look at last time.
That's these little dudes.
Yeah, that's the other side.
They're really high tech.
Yeah, well, the Lilliputians are very, very highly developed. They are that kind of almost like what am I thinking? Ming.
Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. They have that kind of Flash Gordon kind of feel about them. Yeah.
See, you just had to stare at the beard to draw.
I just had to stare at the beard to get that Ming thing. Right? But they've got that Flash Gordon thing, and then you know, they then have discovered all these other little factions. Now we know about the Gremlins. We know about these guys, the Lilliputians, but there are some other factions. Can you just?
I'll see if I can remember. There was the Fae folk, who are all nature focused, and they're the ones who cause the mold to grow all over your house.
Right.
There is the freeloaders, who I think are kind of little rodent-like guys. They're the ones who'd steal your DVDs and rearrange everything in your house.
Okay.
So they're the reason why you can never find your keys where you put them down.
And there's Egyptian penguins.
The Egyptian penguins, the Lords of Dust.
Yeah,
that's the ones you thought my house.
Yeah, stuff like that. Egyptian
penguins.
Come on.
This sounds ridiculous, insane. I love it.
Who knows where this can go? I had a good long chat with David Esbury, you know, and I was quizzing him about contraptions. You know, I think it would be fantastic if these things also had contraptions. And he says, look, we're only limited by how far the Kickstarter can take us. You know, and whatever it gets to first time is whatever it gets to first time. You know, they've done a good job delivering on their previous Kickstarters.
Yeah, they have,
and they deliver on time. So hopefully they get it through. If it gets to a big old number, that's great, because it'll unlock so much potential and so many different new and interesting things.
Yep.
They get it delivered, and then they go right back in again because I have to get contraptions. I just think little contraptions.
That'll be a great expansion.
I just have the image of some of these actually hijacking a little toy remote controlled car and using it.
Well, there's no reason why they could. These miniatures can push terrain around the table.
Right.
So
they can interact with our world.
They can interact with our world. Of course they can interact with our world.
I suppose they live in our world.
There's big guys, and if you have the cup there, and he needs to get access to it to get something, he will push it out of the way.
Right.
It is that cute. It is that cute.
Okay, I'm going to need to see how that mechanic works, because that sounds clever.
Okay, right. We want to move on.
Okay.
Okay. Sam, you're going to hang around because at the end of the show, we're going to be giving away the Salute winners.
11 winners to announce.
11 winners to announce from the Salute Live blog. But before that, you got to spend some time with Dawn and Gianna looking at Emergence Event. Just give us a little bit of an intro to what it is.
It's a beautiful big space exploration game. It goes from 2 to 4 player. And it's really, really nice. They've built a beautiful world. It's from the guys at MegaCon Games.
The makers of Myth,
Yeah, the makers of Myth, the makers of Mercs, the makers of Mercs Confrontation. It's a brilliant game. Myself,
I think
Dawn
you mean
and Gianna,
Conflict.
Yes, Conflict, my bad. Myself, Dawn and Gianna go through essentially a turn sequence at one point, and it's really, really nice because it's really cleverly done. The only way to describe it is to actually let you see it be played. So, guys, we'll be back after a quick look at the hubs.
It's time for 28mm World War II action. Will you recreate history or reshape it your way? On the Bolt Action Hub at beastsofwar.com. Anime cyberpunk style meets skirmish combat in Infinity. Experience 8 high-tech factions and fight to control the human sphere at the Infinity Hub on beastsofwar.com.
Hello everyone. As you can see, I'm joined by Dawn and Gianna, who are across visiting from the States.
Hi,
hello,
everybody.
ladies.
Hello. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm tired from Salute. Still tired from Salute. It's a week later. We're all still a little burned out. My throat's a little bit weird because we went to Blackpool. You may have already seen that, or if you haven't, keep an eye on the show because Warren, you'll laugh. But anyway, what we're here for, the guys from MegaCon Games have sent across Emergence Event, and we settled down to play it last night.
Yes, we did.
This game is a lot of fun.
It is.
It's a little intimidating. As you can see on the table, we have a ton of stuff. But the way I did it was, I went to MegaCon Games' website where they have a couple of little demo videos, which actually just get you up and running, and then you start to refer back to the rulebook for the bits you forget. So, not too bad. So, I've set us up so that we're sort of mid-game, and I figure if we play through maybe a full turn sequence, we'll get a feel for how you play the game and what's going on. So, the first part of any turn is the attack phase. So if you ladies want to check and see if you have any attack tiles, and if you want to play them.
I do.
I do not.
And I will play one.
I do, and I will also play one. So when you're playing it, you place it face down in front of your captain's sheet, and you decide to reveal it in turn order. Now, I have the starting player token, so it'll start with me and it'll take effect. So I have -3 to 1 stat this turn.
Ouch.
And I think what I'm going to do, Dawn, your navigation's looking quite tasty, so I'm going to knock it down by 3 to make it a 1. So that's going to come into play a little later during the encounter phase. So you don't have an attack tile, but you do, Gianna.
I do. And mine is destroy 1 reward tile.
Okay, this is not good.
And unfortunately...
Oh, it's going to be gang up on Dawn. I see how this is going to go.
So, because you have more than everybody else.
Okay, so select one at random from her cargo hold.
We'll do the middle one.
Middle one. What do we get?
Oh, an artifact shard. Thanks for that.
Oh, that's terrible. Right. Next up, we have the captain card phase. So if we have a captain card, we play it. Now, I've been sneaky this turn. I've set myself up that I have an extra 2 cards in my hand because of an extra tile I had in my cargo hold. So that's really going to let me power on this turn and do some extra stuff. So, do you want to check your hands and see if you have a captain card?
Oop, those are the...
Those are not. Have you drawn one?
No.
No, draw now. Whoopsies. So you draw up to your hand size of 4. I do have a captain's card. and I shall play it. Anybody else?
No.
I shall play mine.
Boy, I'm seeing a pattern here.
I swear I have a stack of decks. I swear.
Likely story.
Okay, so again, it's turn order. So mine takes effect first. So the negative on this is any player higher than me on the scientific enlightenment track is here. So that's going to be you, Gianna.
It is.
Must give me 1 blue resource. If you can't, you must take 1 damage card to your hand. If any player takes damage from this, I gain a victory point, which is this sheet here. So you're earning victory points as you do stuff through the game.
So 1 blue.
1 blue.
There you are.
Excellent. More resources, more upgrades. You also get a positive on your captain cards. So this just is an effect that runs through your turn. So the positive for me this time is for every level of tactical tack I have, which is down here on this side of your sheet, I will gain a +1 to any stat, and I can split it during open space encounters. Very handy.
Very.
So, Dawn, you're not getting to do anything.
I don't get to do anything. Just
Gianna,
sit here.
Okay.
What's your captain's card going to do?
For the negative, it is any other player in open space at the start of this turn must give you 1 yellow resource.
Uh-oh. Not again. And no yellow resources
And if they do not have any yellow resources, they take 1 damage card.
Right. So, where have I placed the damage cards is the question.
Maybe up here?
I think, yes. So, you take 1 damage card. Is it to deck or to hand?
Does not say. It just says take 1 damage, so I'm assuming it's to
I'm going to put it over here.
To deck card. Yeah.
And maybe you should explain the importance of having damage cards in your hand.
Yes. Basically, what a damage card does is, on the card, you'll see it has this little symbol at the bottom, which means half movement. So you would have to spend 2 of these to get a single movement action, which lets you move 1 hex. The other thing it doesn't have any bonuses to your stats for during encounters. So it's essentially dead weight in your hand. Your ship can't do its stuff. So it's
and when you're only holding 4 cards,
yeah,
having 1 or more of those in your hand is crippling.
It suddenly starts to really hurt and really cripple you. But you have ways to get rid of them, which we will see a little bit later on as we play through this turn. So we've done that. We're now on to the movement phase. So how you actually move in the game is you have to spend cards to do it, because each of them have a little symbol at the bottom. So you have normal 1 movement, your damage card is a half movement, and then you have some resource cards, which allow you to do a double movement for 1 card. We'll see how it plays out. I think at the moment, what I really want to do, I think I'm going to go and try and get my next discovery, because I've got my first act from it done, which is here. I've got lucky, the second one's here. So I'm going to spend 2 movement points. Oh, what do I want to spend them in? I think I'm going to hang on to my navigation and spend 2 tactical cards, which, even though they have a big bonus to my tactical, I'm spending them to get where I want to go. So they go to my discard. I will pop 2 hexes across, and I should be lovely. So, Dawn, it moves on to you.
Moves on to me. So,
don't forget, with your particular character, you want to get planets.
Correct. Yes, I'm going to move over here for this planet, and I'm actually going to use a resource card because it does count as 2 movements, and so I'm going to move on to this planet here. Yep.
The resource cards you can actually burn as well to get a couple of extra resource in your cargo hold, but that puts them out of the game. So you're sort of balancing, do I want that resource or do I want that big extra movement for 1 card? Okay, Gianna?
Okay, so basically, I'm kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place.
Well, you're currently sitting on a space station.
Yeah.
You've completed the first part of your quest, your stories, and you could move on to this one, which I believe is the Act 2 for it, because it's Wonders of the Galaxy. No, Arcarian Radical Group is what you're after. So, is Markarian Radical Group Act 2 out?
No, it's Wonders of the Galaxy.
It is.
Oh, way
over there.
So you may have to use...
I'm going to have to do a TDD jump.
Yes, which is essentially kicking in your star drive, letting you make big movement during the game.
So I'm going to spend 2...
of the orange
cubes.
Yep.
So that allows me to make a jump into 2 galaxy tiles.
Yep.
So I'm going to jump into this sector here. So I move the ship. Now we have to determine where I actually land.
Yep.
So we roll a 6-sided die.
Which is in the center, handy dandy.
And that's a 5.
So if we have a look here, this shows you what direction you're going. So 1 through 6. 5 would place you
Asteroid?
On the asteroids.
on the asteroid.
Yeah, not bad.
But you have your second level upgrade to your navigation.
I do, which adds or subtracts
+1.
+1. So I could have gone
So you
4.
can go across to open space. On
You know,
each
I
side.
think safe bet right now would be go to the asteroid anyhow.
Safe bet to the asteroid?
Yes.
Okay. So as you can see, you can make those big movement guys, but if you don't have the upgrades, you can wind up just in the middle of nowhere, just getting destroyed.
And open space is dangerous.
Extremely dangerous at times. Now, the one thing I have forgot to do, I have moved twice, so our movement track goes to here, and because it's a 3-player game, we suddenly bounce back to 1, and the epoch goes forward. This is sort of your turn tracking. You've just made a 2 move, so 1, 2, and your TDD counts as 3, so that puts us back up to 6. But because we've went to the second epoch now, we actually have to take the purple cards from here and shuffle them into the open space deck.
Purple cards are bad.
Purple cards are very bad. It makes life a lot more difficult. And it also means that whenever you're actually completing things like asteroid fields and planets, you're getting less victory points for them, just as things wear on. People are using up resources.
But the rewards are bigger if you're successful.
Yes, on those big purple cards. Okay, so we've had our movement phase. We're now on to the encounter phase. So I am currently sitting on the Old Races Act 2. And if I could stop being droppy and dropping my spaceship everywhere. So what we do is we go to this deck, which actually gives you a little bit of story behind these discoveries. So I've actually preloaded this because I knew I was going to be going there. The Old Races. The scorched irradiated planet below was home to the Voltrons. This secretive race... things with stuff. This secretive race left few records behind. They mastered the ability to not only cloak their ships, making them invisible to all scans, but could even cloak entire planets in the end, though even this didn't save them from the Markarians, who are the big bad, the evil behind the story in this universe. What few scraps of their civilization remain can be found in orbit around their dead world. So this is basically a challenge that I have to beat. So I either need to get an 8 on my navigation or an 8 on my engineering. So if we have a look at my cards here, on my panel I've actually been doing a few different upgrades. So currently my science is 3 plus 1 makes 4. My navigation, however, is 4 plus 1 is 5. My engineering, 3 plus 1 is 4, so not so good. So what I have to do is, I have to make that number from my hand. And this is why I held my navigation cards. So I'm currently looking to make 8. I'm on 5. And I have a navigation card, which will add 3. Which means I've passed the test. I've basically piloted my way through the debris field, not a problem. And I now get the reward. So I get 4 victory points. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 to run myself up the track a little further. I then get +1 on a preparation track of my choice. So I think I'm going to go for Unification of Worlds to push me a little further on that, because once I hit 5 on that, I get a free tech upgrade from the ship.
Right.
So what else do I get? I get 2 artifact shards, and I'm very lucky because I have one of my technologies upgraded to 3. That means I've completely unlocked my cargo hold, so I can take both. And I think, if I'm right, that means I am going to get a new artifact because I have 3 shards.
Oh, nice.
And so basically, my commander, the commander of the Evolved, it's all about getting your resources to make more artifacts because you can't store any. You have to burn them all. So I'll equip a new one of these, and I've got Nerisian Phase Storage. I may now store 2 resources per cargo slot.
Wow.
That's very good. Currently what my upgrades are, I've got all 3 loaded up now. My first one is a Viturian Energy Matrix, which is giving me a +1 to my tactical and a +1 to my engineering, which is very nice. I've then got Prism of the Precursors. If I have DC in hand at the start of my turn, I'm a repair 1 DC and draw a card. So there's basically a constant little repair run running on them. So quite happy with that. I've now completed that. So one of my little blue tokens goes onto that to mark that I've completed it. And is there anything else it does for me? Where did I put the card? Blast!
Right, is that one?
It's right in front of me. I also gain 2 resources of my choice. So I'm going to quickly reshuffle my cargo space, and I will take. I don't have many red, so I'll take 2 red. And that will end my encounter phase. I now keep this so that I know what I've done. However, my problem is, I think my next old race's actual story arc is way over here at the far end of the galaxy. Yep. So I'm probably going to have to make a couple of TDD jumps, and I've only got 3. So I can't get all the way there, but I can get some of the way there. So it would move on to you.
Okay.
And you are currently on a planet.
On a planet, which my ship, I get extra bonuses for every planet that I'm able to colonize.
End of the game, every planet Dawn has colonized, she gets an extra victory point. She actually won last night doing that.
Yes, I did.
Very, very
Between
sneaky.
Conquering planets and having the most damage cards.
yes, because up along the top here, we have these, which are what you're trying to do to achieve victory points at the end of the game. So this one is Superior Galaxian, fewest damage cards at the end of the game. So it means you have to continuously think about that. This one, however, is perfect for Dawn because it's Colonizer. Most planets controlled at the end of the game.
Yep.
And then, depending on the preparation tracks, which is the yellow, blue, and red, whoever's at the top of these gets those cards at the end of the game. So, you're on a planet. Now, I actually did this slightly wrong last night. I kept it a little simple for us. So, you basically need to make a 6 through 9 on either your tactical, your science, or your diplomacy.
Okay. So
what's currently your best? I've knocked out your science.
Yeah.
Huzzah.
So tactical.
Yeah. And having knocked out that science, depending on which way you complete this, you get a different reward. So if you do it with tactical, you gain 1 reward tile and a roll on this little table.
It was my navigation that you took out. So,
oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, bugger.
So I've got tactical, what?
Tactical, science, or diplomacy.
Diplomacy.
Yeah. Your diplomacy is quite good to start with.
Yeah.
So it's on 4, so you would need...
I can only take that up to 5.
Oh.
I know. Security, I'm at 4.
It's tactical.
Oh, that's right. I can't even do that one. Tactical, I'm at 4. I can only
science?
take that one up to 5, too.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And science is awful. Science is way less than that. So I'm sitting at a 5 for no matter what.
So... that's a failure.
That is a failure.
We haven't came across this one.
No, we haven't. It didn't happen the whole time last night.
So, I think I'm going to have to go back and look at the video and actually check what happens. So
we'll pretend that I succeeded.
We'll pretend that you succeeded, just to show what planets do.
So
let's say you've done that.
Okay.
So which did you do it with in the end up?
We'll say I did it with tactical.
Tactical? Okay, so you'll gain 1 reward tile. These are essentially giving you bonuses through the turn, or attacks, which we saw at the start of the turn. You also get a roll on the reward table for having completed that. So, if you want to roll the d6, I will figure out what you've got. A 2.
2.
And how many of your discoveries have you made? I believe you've made just the 1.
Just the 1.
So that adds +1 to it, so it becomes a 3. You're getting 2 random resources and 1 refined trinium, which is the little orange cube.
A blue and a yellow.
Blue and a yellow. So, to actually decide random resources, you roll these, they come up what you're meant to take. Nice and handy. And you have a lot of refined trinium. What does that relic that you have do?
I have refined tritium may be used to boost any other crew stat by 1 per each refined tritium spent.
So
I would have succeeded on that one anyway.
You would have.
So, yes.
So let's step back a wee second just to show how it would have happened. So if you take your cards back.
Yes.
So you had your, what was it, tactical?
Yes.
You planning to do it with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have any tactical cards?
Not tactical cards. No.
So you have a tactical stat of 4 to start.
Right.
So if you spent 5 of the refined trinium, done.
Yep.
So that's actually a very handy little...
That is really handy. Nobody drew that one last night.
Okay. Well, this is the thing, guys. Keep an eye on what you have and just know what you're up to. So, the other thing I think you've done wrong, Gianna, is you have this that you had last night, which means you can do the TDD jumps for 1 refined trinium instead of 2.
Oh, that, yep.
So you should actually have
1 back.
1 back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's a lot to keep track of in this, guys. I think maybe an app might be handy for this, but as it stands, it's a very good, very fun little game. So we've done that. So the encounter phase, you still have to do yours. You're in an asteroid field.
Yep.
So you have the option of security, navigation, or engineering to get yourself through the asteroid field and get to what you want to do.
Well, I will do navigation. So that'll give me a total of 7.
7.
7.
So 8, 9, that means 2 damaged cards, which go to your discard.
Okay.
And that's really going to hurt next turn, because once you burn through your deck, you reshuffle, and those damaged cards are just waiting in there to hurt you. So we're done with our encounter phase. You've passed this, so you put your little chit on there and mark it as yours. We then move to the upgrade phase. So this is where you're taking a little bit of time to have a look at your ship. What resources do I have in my cargo hold that I can use to actually boost myself elsewhere in the game and make life a lot easier? So, starts with me. I have 3 blue, 3 red, 2 yellow. So what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to take my navigation to 2, so I'll have to pay 2 blue and 1 yellow for that. And then it will move up 1 level. I now have 2 level 2 upgrades, so I gain another captain card because you only start with the 1, and as you go through these upgrades you get more. I think oh, I did it slightly wrong, but oh well. And actually I'm wrong, I can't upgrade because I'm on one of the events, not an
Not on it, yes.
Damn it. So I take my 2 blue and my 1 yellow back. I'll have to wait to spend all this lovely stuff next turn. So it'll go on to you, Dawn.
It's me, and I am on a planet, so I can take advantage of upgrades. So I am going to right away add to my pool here. I get 2 refined tritium and 2 yellow resources.
Okay, so 2 of your tritium. You're really going to be wanting to collect as much of that as you can.
Right, since I have this. And I am going to upgrade my diplomacy and my engineering because they each take a yellow, and my science. And now this turn is over, so I get rid of this nastiness. Correct?
Yes,
that was from last turn. So, all right. So
don't forget to take your little tech counters. The good thing with Dawn's captain is all the base technologies only cost 1, whereas me and Gianna are having to pay 2 at a time to get them started.
So it's easier to get going with mine at least then. So
and then Gianna, if you have any upgrades you want to do, you have 2 blue.
I'm going to do the 2 blue. I'm going to spend those to upgrade my science by 1.
Right. And then we need the little +1 counters. So your science is up by 1, so it's now on 5.
Correct.
And then we come to the end of the turn, which is the refresh phase. So I have 2 cards left in my hand. Draw up to my hand size of 4 because I've used my +2. And then you continue play until you reach the end of the game round track. So you just decide how many you want to play. As soon as you hit that, everybody gets a final turn, and then it's game over. So that's basically how you play this game. It's very light, very fast, and it's really tactical once you bed down into it. I love some of the card mechanics of actually having to boost my stats here and then play my cards into it to actually meet my targets and stuff. Whenever we first read the rulebook, we were a little bit intimidated by it. We got a couple of layouts wrong, but like I said, if you have this game and it's sitting on your shelf gathering dust, don't leave it there. Take it down, watch the videos on MegaCon. It will help a lot, and you will get a really great game out of this. I think we played for at least 2 hours last night, and we were just sitting, laughing. You guys got pizza, and it was great. So,
well, it was good fun.
Final thoughts on the game, guys?
I like that it's not going to be the same game every time you play it because there's the variability of the galaxy tiles themselves. When you flip one over, you're going to roll and it's going to rotate into that roll. So it's not going to be the same game over and over again.
Yeah, so you have excellent exploration mechanics, and every time you have the different victory conditions. So yes, you have the 3 main ones that you're working toward, but you always have those 2 extra ones that you have to keep an eye out on.
Exactly.
And I love that aspect of it because, as evidenced by how you see, depending on what you draw or how you roll, the overall look of the game might look like it's not gone really well for you. Like it was not looking real pretty for me last night. And yet in the end, because of those extra end conditions, I was able to pull ahead, you know, and
exactly.
so
you knew what you were
it
meant to be up
stays
to.
fun
Yes.
for everybody.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were actually playing the tactics to actually get the max damage card.
Yeah.
You're a sneaky gamer. You're a very sneaky gamer. Well, guys, that is Emergence Event. It's just a quick overview look at it. It's a great game. Give it a once over yourselves. It's definitely worth it. Myself, Don and Jen are going to move on here. We're going to take a quick break. And, well, we'll see you in the rest of the weekender.
Become a general of mighty armies at the Kings of War Hub. Take command of elves, dwarves and orcs in this game of masked fantasy combat on beastsofwar.com. From Viking halls to the cities of the future, terrain buffs will love our foreground hub. Watch gaming tables of all genres come to life at beastsofwar.com.
Well, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's a fun little game. I know a lot of people look at some of the rule sets and go, I can't make head nor tail of it.
Yeah.
Whenever you actually jump in and have a quick look at the videos and then use it as a reference, you can sort of start getting your feet under it and start rolling with it.
Yeah. Now this, you told me 2 turns.
2 turns,
and you're into it.
Yeah, because
I've got to say, Battlestar Galactica took me 2 turns before I started to get into it. So that doesn't sound too bad to me at all.
Well, that was 2 turns after I had went away, watched through the videos, had another quick flick through the rulebook, and then that was me teaching Don and Gianna, and they were getting it within 2 turns after me having went away and done that.
Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful.
Right.
Game.
To round out the show, guys, it's time to announce some winners.
Not some winners, a ton of winners.
So,
incidentally, before that, how did the spot prize go at Salute?
Spot prizes.
You had all those videos.
Oh yeah.
The Hoth prize.
On the Hoth, every one of them was one. There was one young fella who managed to bring down 2 AT-ATs.
Really?
Yeah, he looped them
Like a boss.
twice, and I think he brought down 2 AT-ATs, and I think he brought down a couple of ATSTs as well. He was the hero of the show, and then there was 2 other kids that ultimately at the end got the AT-ATs up and blew up Echo Base.
Oh,
so it was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic.
Cool.
So that was the giveaways. We must have gave away about 50 prizes at the show, but here we're giving away 11 prizes. The first prize was to win the Drop Zone Commander ship. This was the one that was limited to 50 copies on the day.
Yes, made in
a pewter version of the big ship that they have the model of.
Really?
And it was the little pewter version at the scale of the game. And our winner is Smitty14. Well done. Next up, we had a Warzone starter army. That was the new one.
That's the new one.
That had just been released.
Yeah,
so this is the ship.
Yeah, that's
Sam.
I remember seeing the work in progress last year.
So next up, we had the Warzone starter army, which was the new one. I can't remember the name of it. Can you?
No, but it's essentially they're for the Imperial
The
faction.
Wolfbane Commandos.
The Wolfbanes, yes.
That's him. And the winner of that was Shinlock. After that, we had the Bushido 2-player starter bundle. That was 2 starter sets in a rule book, and that was won by Inquisitor Felix.
I'm very jealous of that one. I want the Temple of Rokan.
Next up, we had the Maelstrom's Edge. These were 2 books. Okay, the first and the second book of the new background.
Yeah, the
these are novels of Maelstrom's Edge. We have 5 winners. We have Lucky Boy, Entra Rabbit or NT Rabbit, Blood Plague, Sir Coffee, and Dizzy. Well done.
Yeah.
We then had the Bandua gaming table worth of terrain.
Really?
40k
gaming table worth of terrain.
So it was a bunch of terrain for 40k, including a cathedral. It looked great, and it was won by Kamek. So congratulations to you. We then had the War Games Tournament's Orc Fortifications, which was a 4-foot long orc wall fortification with lookout towers and stuff. Yeah. Absolutely crazy, beautiful terrain. I can't recommend highly enough the guys over at War Games Terrain. And that was won by Up Trebor. And then finally, we have the Plascraft Terrain Bundle, which is a kind of like a selection of Plascraft stuff, which if you're not in too much of a hurry and you're willing to wait for it, you might be able to get more of that pre-printed stuff. Yeah. So Plascraft were there with their brand new pre-printed plastic terrain.
Oh,
so it goes together just like the Hack His Land buildings, but all the texture and colors and everything are all on it.
Gorgeous.
Absolutely fabulous. Those guys are onto a winner there. And the winner of that was the Wayward Dark Wolf. Congratulations, everybody. You know what to do. Go up to the prize claim form, fill them in. This incoming week, I have a bunch of prizes that I need to get caught up on. So I'm going to be spending next week getting caught up on a whole bunch of prizes. Guys, that about rounds it out. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us this morning. Remember that tomorrow morning we have the extra long backstage version of this show, which is available to all of the backstagers of Beasts of War. Backstage, I say it every week, backstage is what keeps us alive. If it wasn't there, there simply would not be a Beasts of War. We would have to shut everything down.
And we'd have to take Justin back to the pound.
We'd have to take him back to the pound.
Yep, we'd have to put Sam back in the orphanage.
Yeah, we would all have to go and, I don't know, try and get real jobs.
What is this real job you speak of? This is life. This is my life.
It would be real jobs where we work a lot less hours, but have a lot less fun. Guys, if you enjoy what we do and you enjoy the whole Beasts of War thing, Backstage is how to keep it alive. My thanks to Justin. Thank you once again. My thanks to Sam. It was great having Dawn and Gianna on the show. We're hoping to get a lot more coverage and stuff with those guys in the coming weeks and months. So until next week, all that's left to say is happy gaming.
Humanity has been driven from Earth, but now it's time to take it back. Join the Reconquest and fight the Scourge on the Drop Zone Commander Hub at beastsofwar.com. Flames of War brings you the battles of World War II in epic 15mm scale. Go to the hub on beastsofwar.com to find news, tactics, and tutorials about the game.